It has been such an exciting week for me and the show and the Tam fam. Last week, me, my executive producer, Kiana Burns, we had an opportunity to participate in Paley Fest, New York. Now, wait, so the reason why I'm doing this, like this, that pose there, I don't know why they picked that picture. It's an annual event at the Paley Museum, and it celebrates and showcases what they call the best in TV. And we, Tam fam, were honored to be invited to the event. And here's the deal. So it was sold out. Our dear friend, Good Morning America co-host, Robin Roberts, moderated the sold-out event. So we talked about what it takes to bring this show with the Tam fam, the Tamron Hall show every day. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of work. More than 150 people work on this show every day. Every day. And that is, all of our team, they have grit, grace, and gratitude. And those three G's were inspired by our first guest today. So this is a live show. So I'm going to be very honest with you. Watching our first guest navigate an unimaginable family tragedy, it has really been a guiding light for me since the news broke of what happened to her mother. 2 years ago, I've thought about her so much. Nicole Avant's 81-year-old mother was killed during a robbery in their home. It made international news. Their family is one of the most famous families in Hollywood, to be honest with you. So you can imagine the calls that were coming in and all of the outpouring. In the midst of her healing, though, Nicole has refocused her life, and she is sharing her story so that we can all find that grit and grace and gratitude. Take a look at her story. Nicole Avant's life has been defined by her work to make the world around her a better place. It's an example that was set for her by her parents. Raised in Beverly Hills, Nicole's father, Clarence Avant, was a legendary music executive known as the Black Godfather, and her mother, Jacqueline, was a philanthropist and community activist. Her childhood home was the place to be.
My parents' house was a place for Black Americans, in fact, for all Americans, to engage in positive change. Everybody got invited to the Avant house.
Nicole took that influence from her parents and those around them to engage in her own positive change. She worked on Obama's 2008 presidential campaign, became the U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas from 2009 to 2011, and turned to storytelling, producing films like The Black Godfather, a documentary about her father.
Clarence is the bridge from a time where there was no opportunity to a time where doors began to open.
On December 1st, 2021, Nicole's 81-year-old mother, Jacqueline, stumbled upon a man who had broken into the family's home. She was shot. When police arrived, they found her husband of 54 years cradling her on the floor. Jacqueline died shortly after, and in the wake of unimaginable tragedy, it was her mother's wisdom that kept Nicole going.
I could feel my mother everywhere. She was guiding me, as she'd always done. I was tremendously grateful for her. I felt her grit filling me. I prayed for grace.
Now Nicole is sharing her story and the lessons she's learned in a beautiful memoir, Think You'll Be Happy, Moving Through Grief with Grit and Grace and Gratitude. In a daytime exclusive, please welcome Nicole Avant.
Happy to be with you. It's beautiful.
I didn't know, when you're watching your life and your story and you're sitting there, I always wonder how it's processed. And our team really wanted to be respectful because at the heart of this book is the loss of your mom, and then just 2 months ago, the loss of your dad.
Yeah. It's a lot to process. That was a lot, but it was beautiful. And I'm so proud of my parents.
Yeah.
I am so proud to be a product of Jacqueline and Clarence Avant. I'm so happy to be here in New York because I do love New York because They met here, they fell in love here. My father started his whole career here in New York. My mother was born and raised Jamaica Queens. So anybody
You're trying to win over the crowd
trying
here
to
in
win
New
over the
York.
crowd. But it was, I love, you know, they're such a, they lived a life that was so focused and so on purpose. So on purpose to open doors for other people. They realized that they had been so blessed. And my mom would always say, you can't hoard blessings. They're given to you, yes, to enjoy, but then you must open the door for other people so that you can share your blessings. So for her, it was, I want to go to as many children as I can in underprivileged neighborhoods, and if they need books, if they need medicine, if they need tutoring, whatever it is, I want to show up and show them what it's like to share a blessing so that when they grow up, they will remember kindness given to them, and that they will then have that in their heart and then pay it forward.
So much wisdom offered by your mother, offered by your father, detailed in this book. The last time we saw each other, we were at Clive Davis's birthday party, and your father was there.
Yes.
And at the time, he was how old?
He was 91.
He was 91. I left the party at 6. Mr. Avant was still at the party, and it was like 12 midnight. I mean, that is a true love for what you do.
Yes.
And you wrote about in the book, caretaking for your dad. You said it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed in my life. And one of our highest rated shows was on caretaking, because we said either you're going to care for someone or someone's going to care for you. In those last months of his life, caretaking was a blessing.
Oh, it was the greatest, out of that tragedy, for God and the universe to bless me with my father living in the house with us, to receive his wisdom every day, to receive his love, to receive his gentleness. And, you know, he loved cooking with us and laughing with us, and we played music together to remind him of the good times. But the best part, what I miss the most, is making a meal for him. Caring for him, making breakfast with him, or serving him dinner, or that caretaking for me helped mend my broken heart.
Because as you were caring for him, you were reeling for the loss of your mother. As I said, you know, I've hosted a crime show for many years, and this was one of the most shocking incidents that I can recall. The headline of your mother being in the home, this individual had targeted other homes in the area, and through this moment of life that we don't know, that only God knows the answer.
That's right.
She was there and encountered this murderer face to face. You wrote, I'm angry that man broke in. I'm angry that he hurt my mom. He didn't have to shoot her. He could have just left. I'm angry that he had to be so brave as to not call my dad's, she had to be so brave not to just call my dad's name. Otherwise, he might have been shot too. I'm angry that in just 5 minutes, everything changed. Your mother was there with your dad, as you wrote. She could have called your dad's name for help, but she didn't. She faced this person alone.
Yes. And what a shield my mom is. What a force of light. What a force of light that she faced this. And now she's 81 years old and 5'1", if that. And he has a rifle. He's running around, and she stopped that. Her light, her love, her power, and she made it to the hospital, Tamron. That's what I was shocked. When they said that she made it to the hospital to even get on a table for surgery, I thought, my God, you know, she really loved life. She fought for her life because she loved life. And she gave me that to move through my grief, to love life. Like, that had to be my mantra. You know, I have to love life so much that I need to get up every day and live it, because it's the only way to really honor her.
You write about her. You said, my mom, Jacqueline, was the person in our life who held the pieces together. When things were about to fall apart, she never stood on the sidelines like the queen of a kingdom. In moments of crisis, her instinct was to act. And you share her last text message that you received from her. She wrote, "Think you'll be happy," which is the title of the book.
Yeah.
What was she referring to?
So she was referring to a sweet potato pie that she was so excited to bring me for Thanksgiving. And, you know, what kind of pie do you want? I need to know what kind of pie. I said, Mom, we have so much dessert, it's fine. And she said, Nicole, please. And I said, okay, get me a sweet potato pie. That's great. Go to the store. She went to her favorite bakery. She brought me the sweet potato pie. My father took leftovers home.
Yeah.
And by accident, the pie that she brought me was sitting right there. So he brought it home with him. And she was so upset because she was so proud of herself for bringing me that pie. So that's what she was talking to me about. And then I wrote her back. And in my mind, I said, okay, Mom, I'll think about it. And in my mind, I honestly thought, I'm going to go to her house tomorrow after my meetings, and I'll go around 2 or 3 o'clock. And then her last words after I wrote her, she said, okay, think you'll be happy. And never heard from her again, never saw her again. But it's so Jackie Avant that her last words to me were going to be, think you'll be happy. It's become my mantra.
Yes, and it's a beautiful mantra.
Thank you.